All right, so Google Drawings, this is free. It was like a pilot test case for a while, and then they fully adopted it. So it's an application that you can use to make charts, diagrams, edit photos, annotate things, create infographics, make graphic organizers, and more. So I've started to give these to my students to try out and see if they like it. And so here are some samples. So what I did to create like some of these things. So this is word art, which is similar to what was in the old Word. Mm-hmm. So you can change it around, and like I can change the color to make it red, and then you can change the font. So those are kind of cool. Instead of kids having to make an actual poster with like markers and all of that stuff that takes a long time, they can focus on the content. And then I just put a picture that I had in my Google Drive, and then you can do, just by double clicking on it, should open up all of these different features. So format, maybe it's this one, so you can crop it, and just have Pat's shirt. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he would love that if he were here. And then this one's probably the coolest. So this is, if you go to insert, and then you can do chart and say you pick a line graph. So then it will insert it, and then it automatically just has those two lines on there. And then you want to change it to maybe how many points the team scored in the first half versus the second half. If you go here, it shows you the source where it came from. And I see like 1,000 applications for history. And then you can change it to, say, the Yankees and the Cubs, little World Series prediction. And then you could change this to game 1 and change this one to game 2. Take these out, and not that that's like a baseball score, but you get the idea. And then it starts to change it to the range and everything that you want it to. So you could think out, like then teaching about the 1920s, you could look at the prices of milk in 1920 versus 1929, and then the kids can just plug those in, and they don't have to be great at this to be able to do it.
And you can change live.
Yep. And then you just click update, and then I mean, obviously those aren't great amounts, but then you can see the Yankees is, this game 1 is the darker blue, game 2 is the lighter blue, and that's the Yankees, and that's the Cubs based on the points that they scored. And so there's tons of quick and easy things. And then there's some formatting tips. So when you start, so you create a new one. And then you get this blank screen that you can do anything with, and it imports seamlessly. So you can, down here, it has you choose like the size of paper you want, and then you can put a table in, word art, a chart, an image, all kinds of different things. So there's like tons of easy ways to use it. And it has some of the elements of, say, a robust and expensive program like Photoshop. So I can show you those. So I put some resources, and I would do this one with a class to have the kids get used to it. So it's, another teacher made it up, earn a black belt in Google Drawings. So it gives you like a bunch of different things, and then video tutorials so that the kids could practice. Create a diagram of an animal, insert an image of the insect or animal, use text boxes, create the font in your text, change the font, change the size, so that you have like a set of basic skills that you want the kids to become Google Drawing like black belts, right? So they have each one along the way, which is kind of like middle school technology, but if you want the kids to use it, this would be like a really cool assignment, especially I think with like 9th or 10th graders, to be able to show you that they know how to use it. Using the research tool, insert a background image, be sure all text is readable, pretty cool. And then This is a teacher up in Maine, Michael Byrne, who does all kinds of like really cool, or Richard Byrne, sorry. Free tech for teachers. He's pretty awesome. And so in it, he has.
This is Richard Byrne. In this video,
5
we're
really
going to
cool
take a
things
look
that kids
at
can do.
5 neat things you can
pretty
do
short.
with Google.
So I put a link to that, and then this is another YouTuber I found, who I think.
Hi everybody.
Pretty sure he's an
Welcome to
educator.
Pomeroy Creative. This is Josh.
And so he shows you how to do all kinds of different things in Google Drawings, but he's this same person that made this, Justin Timberlake, in Google Drawings. So I think it has lots of functionality that you could take to another level. But he shows you just basic how to do things, and that's how I learned how to do things I don't know how to do is look on YouTube. So those are some great options. So the next one that we're going to do is Google Sites and how to make a website, and I think it makes a great assignment in addition to a great way to sort of have things that go beyond the portal, because it's a pain to change things from year to year. So this is a site that I made, and it takes, these are documents that I just paste right in, so not tricky, and it's all updatable as well. And then these are the individual meetings, so here's the first one, the second one, and then the third one will go down there, and it has the presentation and then the actual workshop. And then this one also has a couple of articles from other some books that I scanned in. And then we're mowing the lawn. And then this is like cool sites to look at and different things. So I have one of these that I use. For my IB history class, and I sent it to the kids before the summer because they don't have portal access over the summer, so that they could start to look at some of the things that are important. So this is a whole bunch of resources on the IA, and these take just minutes to pull together, especially if you already have the stuff.
Can you take it straight from your Google Drive?
Yes, so it's seamless. So imagine for this one, I want to go back to the editing screen. So on this one, I want to give the kids a list of cool topics that I found. So then you go to Insert and then From Drive, and that automatically opens your Google Drive, and then it's in the IB History of the Americas folder, and then in IA, and then I'll find, like this is from the IB. So I can paste that in there, and that's the actual
really cool.
information. And then you can make it any size, so it can be like a preview panel, and totally free, and they don't take long at all. I'm thinking of having my kids review for the IB exam this way, that they create a website and they all have access to editing it, and then they can go in and have like one page on Castro, and then the kids put all the links and all the information and things that they need. And then I have, these are the topics that this group of IB History of the Americas kids have learned. So it's prescribed subject 5, conflict and intervention. And then I have a glossary about Rwanda, resources from when they had Kathleen the year before, resources about Kosovo and Rwanda, because she's the one who taught them. So I pulled them off her portal and then was able to add some things in from when I taught Rwanda and Kosovo the year before. And so that they can use that to study, and then there's tons of them. Like authoritarian states is, again, a Kathleen and I topic that they learned. So then here's Castro's Cuba, and then Hitler's Germany. And again, some of those are resources from Kathleen, like review sheets and stuff that I put in there. Stalin and the USSR, Mao and China. And then when they learn, I'll put some Castro stuff right in there, and then they have one site to go to where everything's in one place and they don't have to try to find it. But those are really super, super easy to make, because you just figure out what you want it to look like, and then these are the individual pages, and then the themes are like, you know, how attractive you want it to be, but it's literally, they take just a minute, and then the kids can search it or save it, and it's already automatically updated, which makes it really cool. So that's the next one, is how to set that up. But I'm definitely going to create stuff to be able to use it as an assignment with the kids, because it's really like quick. And they liked it. And then doc stickers, I'll show you what that is. It's like be able to use sticky notes. But the TechSoup has its own site, and then the schedule is just a link.
Have you had any students use Google Drawing for annotating? Is that just?
I haven't seen it,
Okay.
but I don't have.